Well, howdy. Today we're going to talk about how to grow potatoes in a 5-gallon bucket. So here is my seed potato. This is from potatoes I grew last year and it has sprouted. You can buy seed potatoes. They're basically the same thing, but apparently they're treated to be disease-free. Some people cut their potatoes up into pieces. Um, if they have multiple eyes on them, they will cut them so there's a piece of potato with each eye and then plant them. But in here, I am just gonna set this one into the bucket, and right here I have two 5-gallon buckets, one inside the other. Now you don't need to do that, but I have holes drilled in this red bucket, and so if there's any runoff, the second bucket will catch it. Or I could put this in a tray and use both buckets for something, and I probably will do that. But for right now, we have a bucket that is filled with coco coir, and it's only partly filled. And the reason for that is a lot of times when you see people planting potatoes in a bucket or anywhere else, they just push them in at the top. I don't do that. What I do is I take this, bury it, I partially bury it, and then I'll let it grow. And as it grows, I fill in around the leaves. And the idea is basically at some point it's going to get up to the top of the pot, and then I'll leave it alone. But I want to fill in around these as they grow. And that way I have more of the plant itself in the bucket, and the bucket is plenty deep enough so they will grow potatoes, and I believe they'll grow more potatoes than if you just plant it on top and let the roots grow down. I think this way you'll get the whole vine will eventually root, and those roots will eventually make tubers. Should get more potatoes this way. Anyhow, that's how I do it. And I will update this as these start to grow and as I fill them in. So just a short video. By the way, these are red potatoes, and I grew them last year in Coco, and they did better than anything I've ever grown in soil. They were gorgeous. They had nice skin, no scab, no hollow potatoes. They all had a nice shape. Potatoes do really well in Coco, and I really do recommend, if you're growing indoors, use Coco, because peat is mined from our wetlands, and it takes thousands of years for a peat bog to develop, and then we can destroy it in a matter of hours by harvesting the peat in there. So it's really not what I would call a renewable resource, and we need to save our wetlands. So cocoa is made from coconut shells, and you know, in the places where it grows, they harvest the coconuts, and the shells are just a byproduct, you know, and every year the trees grow more. So it's a totally renewable resource, and you can also reuse it a bunch of times, whereas potting mix that's peat based, it is really acidic, whereas cocoa is neutral. It's around 6 pH, and they have to add lime to it so things will grow in it, and once that lime is depleted, it's pretty much useless again. Plus it compacts, which cocoa doesn't do. So there's some real advantages to using coco coir, and I really recommend you use that instead of potting mix. And yeah, that's about it for this video. So, you know, take care, happy gardening, keep it green. All right, bye-bye.